Guys, it's Imani. Welcome to my channel. So before getting into anything else, I do just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. I really do appreciate it. It made me so happy to see, like, it literally made my day. But today's video, we're going to be making some glitter nail polishes with those mica powders, some glimmer shimmer powders, some Aurora powders, and then these bases. So I have a rubber base coat and a non-white top coat that I purchased from Amazon. They are both about 3.4 fluid ounces, I believe, and they were about $14.99 each. And then these are some of the mica powders that I'll be using. So I'm not going to be using all of them, but I'm kind of just using these as a base to decide which colors I want to match to the glitter powders that I have. Now this came with 60 powders in the set. I did haul them in a previous video if you want to check that out. Now these are the shimmer powders that I'll be using. Well, they're like shimmery glitter powders. I got them from Shein. There's 10 in the pack. 2 of them are actually the same color, which I was a little disappointed by, but it's okay because it's a white, so pretty basic, something that you know you'll use often. And then these are the Aurora powders that I purchased. Now I got both sets because I thought that there were 2 different colors in each set, and there weren't. They are both the same color, so I didn't even need both, but it's fine. And then I'm going to be using these little tools here, which I also got from Shein. And I got those Aurora powders from Shein too. I can't remember if I mentioned that. But these came with like a little spoon scooper, a spatula, and then like a pointy mixer. I'm not going to use the pointy mixer because it created too many bubbles, which you'll see a little later on. But the spatula actually mixed everything together pretty well. So I'm going to be using that to mix, and then the small little spoon to scoop. And then these are the containers that I'll be using. I purchased them from Amazon. Came in a set of 50, and I believe it was around $20, so a pretty good price. And I actually got that link from a very old Lisette video where she pretty much did the same thing. She made some gel nail polishes out of some mica powder she had, and then I'll be using these little bubble swatches to put on top of those containers once I'm done. So first thing I'm going to do here is put some gloves on because I don't want to get the powder all over my hands. And if you see my hands moving a lot, it's because this was not supposed to be a voiceover. I actually was talking along with the video, but the video was literally hours long, and I couldn't post it in real time. I had to speed it up. So like it's literally like 4 times the speed that it was supposed to be. So here we are with a voiceover. Now I'm going to be wiping these containers down with alcohol and a lint-free wipe because this is just something that I do every time I get a product. I always wipe it down, but I'm also going to be wiping down the inside just in case there's any like pieces of dust or debris from the warehouse that these came from, because we don't want those to get in our gel nail polishes. So now I'm going to match the mica powder to the shimmer powder. So there was only one orange color in that entire mica set, so that one was a no-brainer. Orange to orange. These other ones I'm going to have to pick through to see which ones I think match the best. So for the green ones, I was able to like pretty quickly roll out those darker green colors, but I do like all of them. I really like the flash green and the gold golden green, and I do want to make some gel nail polishes out of those, but narrowed it down to these three. So first with the lighter green, I really do think that it would have matched either the matcha green or I think it's called apple green. Yeah, so it would have went really nice with either one of those, but the matcha green was a little bit too pastel for the look that I was going for, so I did end up going with the apple green because it was a bit of a brighter green color, and I thought that would look a lot better. Well, not necessarily that it would look a lot better, but it more so fit the look that I wanted to achieve, I guess you could say. I don't know what words to use, but I feel like, that's the gist of it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the apple green. This pale green actually matched very closely to this shimmer glitter powder. I want to say it's more of like a teal color. It's like a bluish green, which you'll see a little later when I swatch it. But yeah, those went pretty well together. And then we have these blues, and then just like the greens, those darker blues I was able to roll out right away. But I really do think that they're pretty, and I do want to make some colors out of those, especially that golden blue and that flash blue. I think that those will be nice for some summer sets. But between these two, the light blue fit that shimmer color. Between these two, the light blue fit that shimmer color a lot closer than the sea blue, and I'm just trying to get as close as I can. I would in the future play around with the shimmer colors and the different color mica powders, but for the purpose of this video, I was just trying to get as close a match as possible. And for this specific pink color, I wasn't quite able to do that because the mica powders, it didn't come with a darker pink. And now that I'm thinking about it, I could have looked at the ones that came in a tube because it might have had a pink that matched a little better. But I did think that this crepe myrtle color was really pretty. It's like, that fuchsia pink, or magenta pink. I'm not sure which we would consider it, but it did have like bluish, purplish, like reflectors and tints, which I thought was pretty. So I was curious to see what that color looked like. So that's why I matched those two together. So out of the purple, I felt that the purple copper was the closest match. And then yellow, that flash yellow was a bit too like bright and neon for what I was going for, so I went with the apricot yellow. This is the point at which I'm realizing that these two colors are the same color. Initially, I thought that one was silver and one was white, but honestly, they're both silverish white. And that diamond white is literally the exact same. It's the exact same pigment shimmer powder. So that white is the only opaque color that came in the mica set. Like, it has no form of shimmer in it at all. So I'm going to be going with the pearl white. Now at this point, I'm going to be swatching those Aurora Powders to see what colors they are, because they didn't come with like any form of, I guess, like tag or title on the bottle. So from where I'm sitting, I can see the color it shifts to, and then the angle of the camera kind of sees the true color that it is. And that's why I'm shifting the paper every time I swatch one. And then I'm going to be like writing either the initial or the color itself on the top so that I know which is which. So the first one is like a peach, orangey, pinky color to green shift. And then the second one is like a green to pinky peach shift. Now, because of where I was sitting, I did kind of write that the other way around on the bottle. But again, that's because of like my perspective, not necessarily what we're going to be seeing in the video. So, and then this one is blue to yellow, I believe. Yeah, but I'm probably going to write yellow to blue on the bottle. And I want to say that for both the Aurora Powders and the Shimmer Powders, they probably were no more than like $5, honestly. Now this one, on camera, it looks like a pink or purple to green, but apparently when I saw it, I didn't see those colors, so I wrote pink to purple. Watching the video back, I'm not seeing the to purple, I'm seeing to green, but we'll go with what I wrote. And then this one is yellow to blue. At this point, we're going ahead and we're getting into the fun part finally. First 10 minutes of the video was just figuring out what we're going to use and how we're going to use it. So I alternated between the rubber base and the top coat, and I probably should have like wrote down somewhere what I started with, or like which was which, so that I could get an idea of how each one performed. Now, I will say that I couldn't really tell much of a difference using it, but the one that was a top coat actually was a no wipe top coat. So in the application process, I was able to see a little bit more. And then here is the point at which I'm realizing that pointy mixer tool is not the best, because it created so many bubbles. Now we can expect some bubbles, of course, because we're mixing a gel together, but you'll see the difference between the amount of bubbles I got with the pointy stick and the amount of bubbles that I got with the spatula. So I started with the Aurora powder, and the reason I did it step by step like this is because I wanted to see what it looked like at each step. And then I'm going in with that shimmer powder, as you can see, and I'm mixing that together. And I don't know if you guys can tell, probably because there's already so many bubbles in it already, but this spatula is mixing it a lot better than that pointier mixer tool was. So if this is something that you plan on doing, I would recommend using a spatula type of tool instead of like a pointier stick. Not that you can't, but you'll probably get a better idea of what the color looks like with a spatula and a better mix. And then we're going to see what it looks like with the Mica Powders. Now, I really liked what it looked like at just the Aurora Powders and the Shimmer Powders. And I think that if we added like some chunky or fine glitters, that would be a great base for like a glitter gel polish. But again, the purpose of this video and this little experiment was to kind of see what these products looked like and what they could create. Yeah, this was more of like a tester. I didn't use a lot of that base. I literally only filled the bottom of the container because I just wanted to get an idea of what something like this might look like and what it would create and how all of the products performed. So for each one, again, I'm starting with that Aurora powder, then I'll be adding in that shimmer powder, and then I'll be adding in the mica powder. Now, if this is something that you would be interested in trying, or even if I did it again myself, which I definitely plan to do, I would play around more with adding in more of each powder, or maybe omitting one, because you guys will see it in the end when I swatch it. These came out very sheer, very, very sheer. And at the end, I'm going to show them swatched on like some stiletto nails, I believe. So I showed them on their own, and then I did it with like a white background so that you guys could see how the color showed up that way. But because they were super sheer, I would in the future try to build up that color a little bit and see how much of a color payoff we can get. And I use such a small amount, and look at that color. It is like, it looks very pigmented, like just looking in the bottle, but it wasn't once I applied it, and that's fine. Again, it's just an experiment. I think that these would still go nice depending on the look that you're going for. But yeah, in the future, I would try to see how much of a color payoff I could get, or see what playing around with different ratios might look like. I will also see like what it would look like mixing and matching the different colors together. So like maybe going with one of those darker blues or darker greens with the lighter blue shimmer powder, and seeing how that comes out. Like if that lighter blue shimmer powder affects the color of the darker one at all, or if it just adds like a nice shimmery color to it. I think that would be cool to play around with, and something that I will definitely be doing. I feel like these first three were like Disney princess type colors. The first one was like Sleeping Beauty, and the second one was Cinderella, but the Cinderella with like Brandy and Whitney Houston, which is my favorite Cinderella, by the way. If you haven't seen that before and you have Disney Plus, I think it's on Disney Plus. I hope it's on Disney Plus. But check it out. It's a really nice movie. I liked it. And then this green one is like Princess Tiana. They were so pretty. I'm like a really girly girl, so I love glitter, I love shimmer. It really is my thing. And I'm pretty sure if you saw my Amazon nail hauls, my Amazon nail supply hauls, then you know, like, I bought a bunch of glitter. I love glitter, and I think like glitter and nail sets are just so pretty. Okay, so at this point, it's pretty repetitive. I'm pretty much doing the same thing in the same order for every gel nail color that I'm doing. But I did think that this might be a good point, or a good point in the video, just to start a little bit of a conversation around, making your own gel nail polishes. So if this is something that you would be interested in doing, or if this is something that you have done on your own, let us know in the comments. Let us know how it came out. Let us know what type of products you used, or if it's something that you would want to do, let us know what type of products you think you might use, or anything of that sort. I feel like this was a really fun like experiment and thing to do. I'm really happy that I tried it out, and I can't wait to make some more in the future. Usually when I saw people making these, like the Lisette video I mentioned, and I saw a couple other people do some videos like this as well, they used the IBD gel as a base instead of like a rubber base coat or a top coat. And I do have the IBD gel, but I thought it would be a lot easier to use the rubber base or the no white top coat, at least for me. And that's because like you can use them like a regular gel polish this way. I'm still getting used to using builder gel, and I haven't become used to it quite yet. So this was kind of like the easier route for me, and I don't regret it at all. I think that this was the best thing to do for the time being, but it would be really cool to do it with builder gel too. And honestly, you could try this out with acrylic powders, using clear acrylic as the base. You can use those mica powders for pigment, and then of course the shimmer and Aurora powders to add, glitter and things of that sort, to kind of customize your own acrylic colors. And that to me is what makes this so rewarding and so fun, is that it's custom, it's unique to you. Even if you're like looking at something for inspiration or something of that sort, it is still your own unique creation, and you can make it your own. And it's really affordable to do. I guess I would have to calculate everything together to get a good idea of what the price was, but honestly, the amount I used compared to the amount of things that I have, like I could make this so many times over and over, and it's 50 containers. So imagine buying 50 gel nail polishes. Like the price of that compared to the price of products, like, is such a huge difference. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, I would say that it is definitely worth it, and give it a try. I think you'll have fun. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I would love to know like how it went and how everything came out. it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and you're enjoying it. I know that this video is kind of long. Even if you skipped up to this point just to see how it came out. I know I like watching the process of things, but I understand that everybody doesn't, and that's okay. But so right here, I'm just making the swatches or the little like tabs to put on top of the container so that I know which color all of them are. And then I wanted to discuss this a little bit. So as you can see with this pink one, for the shimmer and the Aurora powder, those powders kind of settle at the bottom. So that was the very first polish that I made, and I was a little disappointed about that. It made me sad. The mica powders stayed mixed in, as you could tell. The liquid was like blue tinted, but you could see that there was some settle on the bottom, and the settle was the shimmers and the Aurora powders. And I think that may have been because mica powders are made to mix with things a little better, and those Aurora and shimmer powders probably weren't. But it was okay, because even mixing them together, it still came out pretty good. It brought up some of those bubbles a little bit, but in application you can't see the bubbles. If you just work with thin layers, then the bubbles won't be an issue in your application process. So still very much worth trying out if you would like to. I'll do my very best to link everything in the description box below. Here we have those swatches. So this is the swatches on its own. We have the white, the light pink, yellow, green, and the teal color. And then this is them with a white background, with like white gel underneath. And then here we have the blue, purple, that like magenta pink, and the orange. And this is 3 coats. These all came out really good. I was really satisfied with the product. But thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment again if this is something that you'd be interested in doing, or if you like content like this. And please continue to subscribe to my channel. And a huge thank you again to everyone who has done so far. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.